And we're here with Harold Rosenberg, a retired crime scene photographer with the Montreal Police Force. Mr. Rosenberg, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome, Lauren.
You were here on December 6, 1989, called to another crime scene as you have been before. This is actually your first time back here. How does it feel?
It's sad. It's very sad. It brings back a lot of sad memories. And first thing I noticed when I arrived here is I hardly recognized the scene, because when I went in and out there, I don't think I really looked very closely at the exterior.
Yeah. Everyone, wants to know if you can take us back to that day, from the moment that you got into the office that morning and the boss told you, head straight to Polytechnique.
It was that evening, actually. And I got in the car and drove up here, and on the way up, I listened to the police radio. I was driving an unmarked police car, and all the chatter was about the École Polytechnique and University of Montreal, so I knew that something major was happening, but I still didn't know what it was. And it's only when I arrived here and was ushered in to the sort of a council room that I saw all these investigators there that I knew from the homicide squad and armed robbery, and our guys were there. We had our 4 or 5 of our technicians were already there too. That I realized that there's so many people here, there must be something major that happened. And that's when I asked one of the sergeant detectives who was there, who I knew from the Côte de Neige area, I said, what's going on here? And he said, there's 14 people dead.
Wow.
And then I knew.
And you had a gruesome task, if I can say, of having to go into the classrooms and having to see some horrible things. Can you try to describe what you saw, or what it felt to be there in that moment?
Well, what I saw is what I'd seen many times, or not many times, but I'd seen it before. I already had 13 or 14 years experience doing that sort of work. It was sad. It was just a sad scene. I saw the victims. But I was in a classroom, and that was so sad about it. I was in a school. And the one that sticks in my mind was the last classroom I went into, where the perpetrator was there also, and there was this wall-to-wall window that looked over the city, and there was this calm out. I looked out the window, and you could see it was like a panorama with the snow falling gently and all the city lights in the background, and then I looked down at what was in front of me in the classroom, and I could see the two extremes: the peaceful tranquility of the city and the extreme carnage that was in the classroom.
Wow, that is certainly, I'm sure, a memory, a sight that will remain with you. Thank you very much, Mr. Rosenberg, for sharing those stories with us this morning.
You're welcome.
Joanne, back